What's up, everybody? Red Hat Pirates here with a deck profile for RP Luffy. We've been at Red Purple Luffy for a minute, making slight variations, and today we are releasing how we are running our deck. RP Luffy can be an absolute meta slayer in the right hands. Before we get into the deck profile, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the bell to turn on notifications, and get at me in the comments. Let me know if you like the deck, hate the deck, or what you do differently. I know there's a lot of different thoughts and ideas on how to properly run RP Luffy. Let's check out how I run it. We're going to go ahead and turn off the camera for you guys so you can see the full cards. RP Luffy. If your field has 0 Don or you have 8 Don or more, add 1 Don from your Don deck and set it as active. We have 4 Nami Searchers, very standard. This is just to find our Zorojuros, which basically allows us to ramp. This is standard. It also allows us to find our 3-cost rushing Zoro, which this is not standard. This we specifically put in for all the black matchups, so like Lucci, Blackbeard, it really helps a lot with, because you're able to get insta value out of your cards that you're playing, and Smoker as well. Nami is also able to find us our Rush Luffys and our 2Ks, our Diables, and our Rad Beams, and our Gum Gum Giants, which is insane. Being able to search for these with a 1-cost searcher is so nice. We have 4 of the Silver Rayleighs. I know a lot of people opt to put Newgate here, but we just prefer Rayleigh. I think it works better into Dofi anyways, just because we're able to clear his standing characters and actively like cost reduce, or minus his character's power, I mean. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's characters until the end of your opponent's next turn. Give one of them minus 3,000 power and the other one minus 2,000. After this, KO up to one of the characters with a power of 3,000 or lower. So effectively, if his characters are sideways, you could technically minus and then pop his Teach, which I believe we do in one of the matchups that you guys see coming up. Or you can pop their boas while they're standing, etc. Silver's Rayleigh. So this is a blocker. If your opponent has 2 or more characters with an original power of 5,000 or more, draw 2 cards and discard 1 card from hand. You can run this or the Queen. I know there's arguments to be made for both, but if we're on like our 6 Don turn, or we have a 7 Don play and we can play this out, then it's actually better than Queen in that spot, as long as they have, let's say we're going against Dofi, he has 2 5,000 power characters. Most people will have 2 5,000 power characters. I mean, whether you're playing Purple Luffy, Dofi, etc. So we can play this out and get card draw in that turn, and not just have like a leader swing with some generic play. And we don't have to lose Don that turn either. But with simultaneously, I can see arguments made for Queen. Queen is fine here as well. It's just you won't have that middle pack play. So if we went to 6 Don and we wanted to play this out on 6 Don, we could not do that if it was Queen and then go minus and puts us back on that odd curve, whereas this doesn't. We still get the card draw out of it. So you're trading a 10 Don turn, basically Queen play, for a middle of the pack turn, which I like that better. We have 4 Bond Clays. This is our ramp. If we don't see this, then we're going to want to see this, or we're going to want to see Bukkake Face. So everybody knows what Bond does. You just, on play, you get to add a Don, set it as active. Very strong card. Zorojuros. This is one of the best cards in the deck for what it does. You always want to see this on 3. If you're going first, you want to see this. You put it out there. If for whatever reason it gets bounced, I mean, you still have bonds and you still have it's to die for. So, like, you still have other ways, and that's what I call Bukkake Face. But you still have other ways. This is quite simply just a 2K counter. Most of the time that is searchable. In very, 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 very rare instances will you use it to actually close out a game. Other than that, it's 2K counter. Maybe every once in a while you're playing into Blackbeard if you absolutely have no other plays and you're just trying to keep your board wide. This is a game closer. Nika Luffy, Don minus 10, place all your characters other than the character at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then after this turn, take another turn. And then also this card gets to restand Don. A very, very, very nice play if you have this card, and this card in hand, and they have, you know, a semi-decent board, at least a 6K on board, right? Which they will if you're playing this typically. So you can actually play this out on 10 Don, reset everything, swing 7. Go next turn, from 2 Don to 4 to 5. You can play this out. You go 6 to 7, and then, yeah. pretty good, because next turn you'll be hitting 9, and then your use leader ability back to 10. So pretty strong play with these 3 together. Other than that, he's typically a closer. He works really well at closing out like Lucci games too, like Lucci, Shanks, Purple Luffy. He's really good at closing out certain games. We have Sanji, 2K counter blocker. It's a nice play to play off of this if you needed to play this and then you still needed to get a blocker out. Maybe something unexpected happened and they had enough counter to get out of one of your attacks that you didn't think they could or whatnot. You can still play a blocker out and maybe save for another turn. We have run 2 of the 9-drop Linlins. Really good card, really strong into Dofi. Nice sustain. Anytime you can take a 3 health leader and bump him up to 4 health, it is extremely nice. We have 4 of the 9-cross Luffys. This is the card we're looking to play most of the time in most of our matchups. We're looking to get to 9 as fast as possible, play this down, draw cards, and establish rush. Really good card, and it's searchable in the deck. Makes it really strong. Uso Hachis, this is a 2K counter, and aside from that, it can let you go for game because you can rest blockers and then go for game. We run 2 rad beams. It's searchable. It's just a strong event, 4K. We're low health anyway, so after we take a shot, we literally just get these. It helps us defend board, helps us defend our life, etc. Diable, this is our game closer versus certain decks. Most of the time black decks. If we have Teach, or Teach is on 0 and he's just, chaining blockers. Or, even Dofi. Sometimes Dofi gets boas up and you have him at 0 and you just can't do nothing. Well, Diablo is your best friend. So, it's a searchable event. Bukkake Face we went over. It's just another way to ramp. It's actually a better form of ramp than any of our other cards if we're going second most of the time, because like Dofi's going to get a 6K on board. Pluffy's probably going to get a 6K on board. Like most of these guys have 6Ks, they're going to get on board immediately. Like Dofi's ideal turn would be if he's going first, Jinbei into Weevil. Pluffy's ideal turn now is Zoro Joro because he'll be ramping to 4 and playing out Zoro. So all these guys have 6Ks, and if you hit this then and you get to double ramp it, it's insane. It's very strong. And then the best event in the game, best purple event at least, is Gum Gum Giant. -2. Give your leader 4K, and then draw 2 cards. You have to trash 1, obviously, but yep. And with that said, let's get into some games. Alright, first up, we got Doflamingo. We see our Nami Search. We got our Zoro Joro. We got our Bon. Pretty good hand, especially since we got the Rayleigh, and that is what we ideally want to see as well on our top end in this matchup. He gets the Sengoku Search off. He sees his Teach. He'll swing 7. We will counter out of that one. And then we are able to swing with our Zoro Joro, ramp, play out Bon, get another ramp going, and then just swing heavily into Jinbei. Yep. Now we're on 7. Next turn we're literally right to 10. And we have 2 Rayleighs, and that is exactly what we want to play. And then we also have Lin, which is really good in this matchup as well. So depending on what he's able to achieve here, could change up the play, but it's most likely going to be Rayleigh. Clears that, and then we'll take the shot at life. It's no biggie because this will be the only shot that we have to take. And the rich get richer here. So we can actually attach a Don to Bon here. Swing into Gecko, and then, take her. Yep, there we go. And then we can Rayleigh, and this will allow us to clear the Teach. That way we can just swing into Boa, and you have to give up a lot to keep it. And then we get to keep 1 up. So he gets his double bounce on. He's able to replay out his Perona. And then, I'm assuming he's looking to go wide here if possible and into one of his 6K bodies, which is what you want to see. And, yeah, he just went right into one of his 6K bodies. We just rad beam that. We don't want to throw away a card. We didn't have anything we really wanted to get rid of yet. And then we'll just swing into that guy. This way we get an extra card out by attaching a Don to Nami, and then we still get to swing into it, take it, and still swing for life. Whereas if we would have just swung into life, or swung into him with Luffy, he'd obviously taken it, and then we'd have swung in and kept 2 Don up. We might as well swing the Nami there, just to take 1 extra card. And if he wouldn't have countered, we'd have just swung into life twice afterwards. So this is like what you ideally want to see. We got a clear board. Very nice. 12 into 8. We can save this. We do chance it and give up the 2K right there on the save. We didn't really have to do that. We could have just gave up the other Gum and kept the 2K, but we were being really greedy since we're in a really good position. So, and here we're just gonna probably attach 1 Don, swing into it, yeah, and then just swing into it as an 8. And then we'll swing into life as an 8. And then we'll play Lin Lin. We'll go up a life. And ramp our Don. And we're good. Now he's in really big trouble now. And I'm assuming he's probably going to swing big into one of the Rayleighs. We may let it go. Yeah, we'll just let it go. It's fine. That actually gives us a play. Like, it would have been better to get something different, obviously, but we're able to swing 9s and then play out Sanji. I think we just play it out and we're not even really worried about having to use a Gum this turn. Because if he swings big into one of our characters, we can always give up the Sanji instead. And if he swings into life, we're just going to take it. And he's coming to life. We'll just take it. He does get a boa out, which probably wouldn't save him, but we drew the Rayleigh, so we're gonna play it. I mean, there's no reason to push it because we don't have to. And now we can just swing into the Jinbei and take the rest of his cards if he tries to defend it. Yeah, he had quite a bit of counter, so yeah, he probably would have lived had we just went for game. Gets another blocker, but now we have way too many swings now. And he can't take anything from us because we have Gum. We can Gum or take it. It doesn't really matter. And then we just start off with the 9. See if he wants to counter or block. And then we just swing another 9. And now we know we have the game. Yeah. And that's that one. And here we got Shanks. So we kind of do what Shanks wants to do, but we just do it faster because we get ramp. And we have our Zoro Joro. We're almost always going to see ramp with the way I have this deck built because we have so much of it. And then we're just going to swing twice. 2 really big swings because we don't really have another play. So we can swing 8 twice and just force him to give up blocker. So it basically makes his 4-down turn like irrelevant. And instead he elects to take both swings and not even give us blocker, which is fine too. I mean, we're not... That's fine. We are already where we want to be. We can play our big body out immediately. And he takes that one too. Like, so we're in a really good position now. We also have Rayleigh, so we can get card draw this next turn. If that's the route we end up needing to go. Oh, and we get Nika Luffy. We're not going to use it yet. Let's see how we do this. We know we have to swing before we play it. Otherwise, he'll just he'll blow it up with his blocker. Because we want to play our Rayleigh out here. Okay. And then we want to keep one up for Gum Gum. So he just takes it all, and we'll just get some card draw, and we can trash that. Yep. And now we got another play, because we know he gets that out, but it's not really relevant. We're fine. We can just give it 2K, and we'll survive on that too. And then we'll just block out of that one. So we know we're able to swing this, and then we know we're able to play Rush Luffy. And then the following turn, we just Nika for the win. So we can swing 7 here. We'll just take all his counter. And got his blocker. We know we're not in danger of losing here. Not even slightly. We're assuming he's going to play, I believe, a dragon down. So I think we have to let that one go. But he doesn't. He Otama's. Yeah, like, and then swings bigger. So, like, we just have to let it go, unfortunately. Well, I mean, we can go for it. Yeah, we go for it. Why not? And we do save it. We do save it. And he leaves 2 up because he's setting on a vent. So we didn't know technically if we should save it right there, only because like he could have swung with Shanks as well, like afterwards, and that would have just been bad. But he didn't have anything to do there. And here we see Purple Luffy. And we don't get our Zoro, so we're just gonna swing big and then we're gonna play out Bon. But so we still get our same ramp and puts us on the curve we want to be on. We'll give 2K there. We'll just take that one. And then we'll swing right at life again. Like if he wants to keep adding Don to that little guy to swing big, that's on him. He can. We don't mind. And then we can counter out of those shots. And now we're on 9. So we're able to play out our Luffy, get some card draw, and just continuously put it on his life. And he takes that one too. Like, that's a lot to take. Like, I know he's got a lot of cards, but, like, he's just been eating this pressure. And we're setting on Rayleigh, so we have a play next turn still, and we can swing big. So we got Rayleigh, we got Gum Gum. We also have Usopp if we need to rest a blocker. We probably won't go that route. We were assuming he would play a decent card, so I would actually get some value out of the Rayleigh. This is like one of those instances where Queen would have been better, I guess, so we'll just play this Rayleigh. We can minus that one, yep, and then just pop the blocker. And now we'll just, 6 into 4, that's fine. And he gives us some counter. We'll swing 11 at life. Force him to have what he claims to have. We know he can't swing Sanji. We got 2 good swings next turn, and then whatever big he plays out, I mean, would open the door for Rayleigh if we really need to play it. And now we get 2 Rayleighs. So we can Uso Hachi that. We can swing. We'll probably can swing for life here, obviously, and then we can still kill blocker if we need to with our leader and play Rayleigh down. Because we have 6 exactly, so we can get Rayleigh out, keep Gum Gum up. Like, that way, because he may not be bluffing what he has, so we can just swing into his blocker, take that from him. see if he has what he's claiming. Yeah, and he does have. So now we just play Rayleigh. We'll get card draw, and we know we survive again next turn. And we just get another shot to do it. And he's only on 7 Don now, so he can't rest our blocker. We know that. We just counter out of the first one. So if he does have Uso Hachis, we're good. Plus we have Gum Gum. I don't know if he... I think he was... I don't think he took that all into account. Yeah, he was setting on Uso Hachi. Yeah, so he just quits. He would have had to play out Sanji, and he wouldn't have had enough. I mean, he should have went for it just to go for it. And this is ranked and high elo ranked. Normally they don't quit. Here we have Blackbeard. This is typically a tough matchup. We see double Nami, though. That's really nice. That's a good start. And we get our rush immediate... Or not our rush, but... Our Zoro Joro. We were actually looking for our 3-cost Zoros in this matchup. Our 3-cost rush Zoros in this matchup. But we didn't see it. Which it's fine. We'll get out our ramp. Hopefully he doesn't have a way to KO it. And it looks like he doesn't now. We have answer to both of those. So it's really nice having Nami here because now we have an answer to both of his Laffites while simultaneously still getting to swing life. And we have a blocker now, so we're going to play that blocker too. I'm assuming that's what we're going to do after we... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're able to swing 6 twice. And then blocker. So we got a good board. I mean, it's not like crazy, but it's a good board. So he's getting rid of our Zoro. We'll just block that. And then he gets down that. We don't really care, though, at this point. We'll clear that. And now we got good swings, plus we're going to be able to play our 6-drop. Our 6-cost Sanji is what we're looking at, I believe. So we just get as many swings as we can in. And then play Sanji. Yep. So he gets another one of those out, but it's still not a big deal. We can probably end next turn. We won't let this go. We don't have a choice on that one. And now we can swing. I think we swing 7 on Nami. Yeah, there we go. We'll go 7 on Nami. He takes, and then we know we win. And that's that. And then lastly, we got another Dofi just to show you that this is a very, very, very winnable matchup. Again, these are all high elo, high ranked matches. Top 100s. We don't have a 1-down play here, so we'll just kind of pass. We're setting on our ramp, which is important. He can bounce it back, and we're assuming he probably will. We do have other form. We don't have another form of ramp right here, but we do have other forms just in case that kind of thing happens. He does get to bounce it back. That's fine. We'll take. We'll just play it out again. And we'll force him to continuously bounce things back if that's what he wants to do. We should be able to get out of this one. Yep. Alright, now what do we can ramp. We go to 9, and then we can yeah, there we go. We got Mom. That's perfect. We can put blocker into its place. We know we're not using rush Zoros in this matchup. He gets down the Sengoku. He can have that. He cannot have free swings at our life, though. Anything we can get out of, we'll just get out of. And now we'll just be playing out. I mean, we have options here. We can play out Luffy here, probably Luffy, but we could play Rayleigh if we really wanted to. Luffy allows us to clear most of it and keep 2 bigs on board. And then the next turn, right now, we're looking at playing Rayleigh. So we know we're going to at least be taking 1 shot here for sure. Might as well be that one. We'll get out of that one, and then we'll get out of leader shot with our, yep, boom, boom. And then we got a free Rayleigh play. We might as well play it. I probably get rid of the Nika, yeah. And then we can play out that, grab us some free 2K. And then we got swings. We can clear board. For the most part. So we have 2K, 1K, 2K, 1K, 1K. We're going to get out of what we can get out of. And now we have Rayleigh. This is what we've been looking for. So now that we got that, that's pretty big. We know we can clear what's on his board standing, so I think we probably minus the standing stuff, because we can clear the stuff that's not standing. And now he won't even have an opportunity to clap back with that gecko. He only had, that means, so he's realistically only got 2 swings here. Unless he really wants to add a bunch of Don, which is fine. We'll take the first for sure. We could even... We could have taken that one if we really, really wanted to. But we don't. I don't like going to 0 with him. So it may have been a bad thing. Plus we have another Rayleigh. We can always play it down. Get some more card draw. We do get decent things. Probably get rid of the 9-cost Luffy here. Keep all our counter. Yep. And then we can play Nami out over top of Nami. Grab the Gum Gum. Now we have a Gum Gum Rad Beam. So we just need to keep 2 up at least. And we can swing these 9s at life. And we're going to set up a turn. We're going to set up to win next turn. So we have Blocker, Rad Beam, Gum Gum. Like, we're pretty good here. I think we take that just because we're like, if you do have the Rad Beam thing, go ahead and do it. Or the Rad Beam, the perfume. Like, go ahead. We have enough. We didn't want to give up a 2K for free off a Gum Gum. That would have been weird. Or give up our 2K in order to block out of that one. Now, if he swings 6 on Law, then obviously we're just 2K out of it. Now, he can swing out if he really wants to. He decides just to swing 7. We'll just give you probably Gum Gum Giant, and yeah. And then we just go for game here. We start with a 9K swing. Probably go 9 again. And then probably go 11 with Luffy after this one. Depending on what happens here. I'm assuming he's going to counter out of this one, though. Yeah, just go 11 with Luffy. And there was 7 with Rayleigh. And we win. And that is it for the deck. If you made it all the way through the video, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the subscribe, the like button. If you're playing in Treasure Cup, let me know in the comments, what are you planning on running?